Hi there, welcome to the Hydro GeoAnalyst video training series. My name is Braden McNeil and I'm the software trainer here at Waterloo Hydrogeologic. In this video I'll show you how to create a new Hydro GeoAnalyst project, and I'll give you a brief walkthrough of the HGA interface. In future videos we'll explore each of the main modules available in HGA one at a time. To create a new project in HGA, simply click the New Project button here in the Start page or from the main menu. When you do that, the new HGA project window will open up, which provides a simple wizard to help you to create the project. The first step in creating your new project is to select the data source, or the database environment that your project will be built on. The best option for large multi-user projects would be to select the Microsoft SQL Server option, and then coordinate with your IT team to ensure that all of the users have the necessary credentials to access and work with the selected database. The local database option is ideal if you're the only person who will be working on the project. The local option means that you only need to specify the name of the database instance and the name of your new database. When you install HGA, the Waterloo database instance will be installed automatically. But if you do have additional database instances installed on your computer, then you can use those as well. Once the database option has been selected, you can proceed to the next step, which is to select the database template. The database template is essentially the structure of the database that you will then populate with your own project data. You can simply think of it as an empty database that forms the basis for your own project. When you first install HGA, it does come pre-installed with two database templates, the environmental metric and environmental imperial templates. Each of these templates provides the exact same structure, which we'll then see reflected down in the preview window below. But of course, the metric and imperial templates come with different preset units. One's for metrics and one is for imperial units. As you can see from the preview window, the environmental templates themselves are very comprehensive and should include a data table for pretty much any kind of environmental data that you may encounter in your projects. And they're all organized into nice logical data categories. You should try to familiarize yourself with the database structure before you create a project so that you'll have at least a basic understanding of where and how each of your different data sets will be stored within the database. Please note that this database structure is not set in stone. You'll be able to use the Template Manager module, which we'll be covering in a future video, to alter the database structure that's shown here. Furthermore, you'll be able to create your own custom database templates for future projects as well. As you can see here in the template list, I do have one additional test template, which I created from a different project. And this test template has its own unique database structure. For your very first HGA project, you'll need to use one of these two environmental templates which come pre-installed, but again, you'll be able to create your own templates for future projects using that Template Manager module. Once your database template is selected, you'll move on to the next step, which is to define some other basic project settings, including the project name, the project folder, the project coordinate system, and the materials specification system. The project folder simply represents the location where all of your project files will be stored. The projection type and coordinate systems should be selected based on the coordinate system that most of your data is already in. If you import data with a different projection system, you would be able to specify that when you're importing, and the data will automatically be converted to the project-specific coordinate system. The only exception to this is if you've selected the local coordinate projection type. With a local coordinate system, essentially what you've done is arbitrarily defined a datum. As such, HGA wouldn't be able to convert between the local coordinate system and any other coordinate system. So if you do select the local coordinate system, you just have to make sure that all of your data that you'll be importing into the project is also in that same local coordinate system. The material specification system selected here will determine the soil types and the associated images that will be supported in the project. The soil types and images associated with them become much more important in the visualization module, since the soil types again can be displayed using these unique images. With respect to the material specification system, please note that several international standard systems are supported, including the USCS, USDA, and IAH systems. But you can also create your own project-specific material specification systems at any time. So the selection of the soil classification system at this time isn't really critical. Finally, you'll click Next and then Finish to create the project. At this point, it'll take a few moments to create the project. At this point, you'll have an empty project that you can start working with, but before you start importing data, you would probably want to make some customizations to your project. You may want to add, remove, or modify some database fields. You may want to update the project material soil system, or you may want to customize some of your printing or chart templates. All of these types of customizations would be covered in subsequent videos. For now, I'm going to close this project that we've just created, and I'll carry on in this and future videos using the demo project, which comes pre-installed with Hydro GeoAnalyst. To install the demo project, just open up the Start page, click on the Install Demo Project button, and then enter a name for that demo project. When you click Next and Finish, it will take a few minutes since there's quite a lot of data to load into this demo project. But whenever it does finish loading, we'll essentially be able to review the interface with a working project that has lots of data loaded into it already. Okay, now that the demo project has loaded up, we can see basically a typical HGA interface. There are many common elements to the HGA interface which you should see all the time. At the top, you'll have a pretty standard menu which allows you to save, open, or close projects. You'll also be able to access information about your project properties and that type of thing. Using the View and the Modules menu, you'd be able to open up individual data tabs or individual HGA modules. On the left side of the interface, you should see the project tree and the station picker. These two areas can be combined or separated using the toolbar buttons just above the project tree. And these two frames can also be docked to the left or the right of the main window using the two buttons with the red and the green arrow buttons. The purpose of the project tree is to provide quick access to many of the different components of your project, including station groups, queries, well profiles, maps, cross-sections, and 3D scenes. By selecting any item from the project tree, you'll be able to activate the appropriate tab or launch the associated module to view that item. For example, I can double-click on a query, and the results of that query will automatically be displayed in the Data Query tab. Or I could double-click on a well profile template, and the well profile module will launch automatically. The same is going to be true for any other objects like site maps or cross-sections, etc. Now the Station Picker tab is here to display the stations in the currently selected station group. As you can see, your station groups are all listed here in the project tree as well, and as I select different station groups, the stations listed here in the Station Picker are updated automatically. When a project is opened in HGA, you should also see a series of standard tabs opened up automatically, including the Station List, Station Data, Data Query, Data Filter, and the Query Builder tabs. The Station List tab is very similar to the Station Picker in that it lists all of the stations in the currently selected station group. However, it also includes additional information like the coordinates, elevations, and station type of that station. Using the toolbar buttons just above the station list table, you would be able to add or remove individual entries to the station table. It's also possible to show or hide columns, and of course to export data as well. The Station Data tab can be used to review all of the data associated with the currently selected station. Use the menu just below the toolbar to select from the available data categories. And as you select individual data categories, all of the tables within that category will be shown in its own tab. As you select individual data tables, then all of the fields within that table are displayed in the table below. And as different stations are selected, we should see the data here in the Station Data tab updated automatically. Just like the Station List tab, it is possible to add in values manually here using the toolbar buttons to add rows and then just type values. You'll notice that the newly added row is highlighted yellow. That's because the data hasn't been saved yet. In order to save the data and actually commit it to the database, you'll have to click on the Save button in the toolbar. And again, it's possible to also delete records manually here. Finally, the Data Filter tab displays all of the data associated with a particular data table for the entire selected station group. That means that the data shown in the Data Filter tab is not specific to an individual well, but is specific to the entire station group. The Data Filter tab is a good way to gain a general understanding of your data since it allows you to easily organize and filter. For example, if I'm interested in how many wells across my project were drilled using the hollow stem auger method, I could simply open up the All Stations group, access the drilling protocol table within the Data Filter tab, and filter out everything that is not drilled using the hollow stem auger. And as I can see here, I'm left with a total of 15 records, or 15 stations out of a total of 45. We'll get a much closer look at the Query Builder and the Data Query tabs in an upcoming video where I'll discuss the Query Builder. But essentially those are used to build and view the results of queries respectively. So that's it for the first introductory video to Hydro GeoAnalyst. In subsequent videos, I'll be exploring individual HGA modules one by one. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more Hydro GeoAnalyst training videos.